Hey friends, welcome back to Homestead on a Prayer. In case you're new here, my name's Jennifer. So it is about the middle of December, which means that it's time for another Azure Standard haul. So about once a month, I go and pick up a bulk order of groceries from a company called Azure Standard. They basically have what are called drop points all around the country, and you can place an order to be picked up at whatever the closest drop point is to you. And they offer, so it's basically like a bulk buying co-op where you can get a discount for buying items in bulk. They offer things in a variety of sizes, so you don't have to buy in bulk, but you do usually get a pretty substantial discount for buying products in bulk. They primarily offer organic and healthier options than what you may be able to find locally depending on where you live. So I like to take advantage of some of the really nice deals that they have and some of the products they offer that I'm not able to purchase locally. So this is my order for the month of December. I'm just going to walk you through the order. I'm going to show you everything that I purchased, and we'll just talk a little bit about why I purchased each thing or how I plan to use it. So the first item here is a 25-pound bag of organic cane sugar. This is the Azure Market brand, so that's Azure's personal brand. Because I cook almost everything we eat pretty much from scratch, I do go through a lot of bulk ingredients like flour and sugar and ingredients like that. So I find it's a lot more economical, especially when I want to buy higher quality sugar like this, to buy it in a really large amount. So every few months I'll buy a 25-pound bag of sugar. Now sugar is a great item to stock up on because it really doesn't go bad. As long as you store it properly, keep it away from moisture, sugar is going to be good pretty much indefinitely. So that is a great one to stock up on. So even though I actually already have quite a bit of sugar in a 5-gallon bucket downstairs, I think I probably actually have a couple 5-gallon buckets full, I did want to restock so that I can continue rotating through my products. So a 25-pound bag of organic cane sugar. Another item that I really like to buy in bulk is flour. So this is a 50-pound bag of organic flour. So this is the Central Milling Company flour. I think this is technically considered an all-purpose flour, but I use this for baking a lot of bread too. That's actually probably my primary use for it, is baking bread, and I find that it works really great as a bread flour. I've been really happy with how all the bread comes out that I make with this flour. So a 50-pound bag will last me a couple months. I make pretty much all of our bread products from scratch, so I do go through quite a bit of flour, but this still will last for a little while. But what I do like to do is buy this 50-pound bag every couple months. I'll empty it into 2 5-gallon buckets. I fit them with Gamma lids, store them in my cool basement, and it'll last a really long time that way. So another thing that I really like that Azure offers is seasonings and spices. So I like to buy those. I'm not sure if it's really considered bulk, but this is certainly bigger than what you'd usually find at the grocery store. This is a 1-pound bag of onion powder. So I got a couple seasonings this month. I got onion powder, and over here I also got a pound of garlic powder, and additionally I got some minced onion. This I don't think is quite a pound. This is 4 ounces. So these 3 seasonings, especially the onion powder and the garlic powder, I mean, I use those in pretty much everything. So we go through a fair amount of those. And I find by ordering them, rather than buying the little tiny containers you can get at the grocery store, by ordering them in bulk like this, I just store them in a quart-size mason jar. These bags won't quite fill up a quart, but that's what I store them in, and I find that it's a lot more economical to buy them in bulk like that, and I've been really happy with the quality. This is actually my first time trying the minced onion. That will be new from Azure, but the onion powder and the garlic powder I've purchased before. I've been really happy with those. So we'll just use those, as I said, in pretty much everything savory that I make. Even when I use fresh onion and fresh garlic, which honestly those go in pretty much everything too, I find that using the dried seasonings just gives it another layer of flavor. And these are also great for something like making homemade taco seasoning mixes or like a salad dressing, something where you really want a dried seasoning rather than the fresh ingredient. Now, kind of along the same line, I also got some Alfredo sauce mix. Now, this admittedly, I probably would not consider it healthy. But if you compare it to the jarred Alfredo sauce that you can find in most grocery stores, I think it is a significantly healthier alternative. And I find that by using this, I can use my own milk and butter mix it together. This is something that I like to have on hand for the occasional time when, you know, sometimes I'm just really tired, I've had a really long day, been running around busy all day, I don't have a lot of time to cook dinner, or sometimes not a lot of time to make lunch for myself. Something like this gives me an option that, well, it probably isn't really healthy, is definitely better than ordering takeout or many other convenience items that I could use. So this is kind of a nice little fallback option, so I like to keep that on hand just for situations like that. Next, I got the 6-pack of the Nancy's Probiotic Sour Cream. I have purchased the sour cream a couple times before and I have been really happy with it. This is my first time getting the 6-pack of the sour cream. In the past, I've just bought an individual container, but we go through quite a bit of sour cream. We usually go through probably about 1 container a week or so, and sour cream, because it has the cultures in it, I find that it lasts quite a bit longer than a lot of the other basic dairy products. So I am pretty confident that we will be able to go through 6 containers of this sour cream before it expires. So I am excited about that. This is not a product that I can get locally, so I like to buy this through Azure whenever I can. The next product that I am trying through Azure for the first time is this organic arrowroot powder. I have used arrowroot powder in the past, but this is my first time purchasing it through Azure. This is a great option for a thickener if you're trying to avoid corn-based products. So cornstarch is one of the usual go-to thickeners, but this is a great option, a great substitute for cornstarch, especially if you're gluten-free. We, in my family, we are not gluten-free, but sometimes there's certain recipes that call for cornstarch rather than flour, and this can be a great substitute as a thickener for either of those. So I've been trying to get away from some of the, especially non-organic corn-based products. So I am trying out this arrowroot powder as a substitute for cornstarch. So I'm thinking that it'll work really well because, as I said, I have used arrowroot powder in the past, but I'm trying to get a little more serious about replacing cornstarch in our diet. So we're trying out this month. Next, these chips here. These are Late July nacho cheese tortilla chips. This is not a new product to me. I've bought these several times in the past. These I actually can get locally, but they're a little bit cheaper through Azure when I buy the 3-pack like this than they are at my local grocery stores. And I really like those as kind of similar to the Alfredo sauce. I would not say that it's a health food. They're probably not really healthy, but it is a healthier alternative than similar snack products that I can find locally. I find that it's kind of, you know, like the 80-20 rule, where you try to eat 80% healthy and 20% let yourself splurge a little bit, but I don't want that splurge to be completely unhealthy either. So finding an alternative that is, you know, that I can live with, but still kind of fills that snacky craving that we have sometimes, this is a great option that I've been happy with. Next, I got a 3-pound jar of this honey. This is Berry Wildflower raw honey. We have used this honey before and I've been happy with it. I like that it is really smooth honey. It has a good flavor. Of course, if you're looking for honey that has all of the beneficial medicinal enzymes in it, you're going to want raw honey. It's a much healthier option than processed honeys that you'll find often locally. So we're just restocking this. I have been happy with it. Honey is another product that is a great product to stock up on because, again, if you store it properly, it doesn't go bad. It can crystallize, but all you have to do is warm it up gently. Of course, you want to, as I said, warm it gently because you don't want to destroy the raw properties of the honey. But if you just very gently heat it up, maybe put it in a bowl of warm water, something like that, you can re-liquefy your honey if it does happen to crystallize. So we've used this in food. I've used this in herbal medicine. It's just a great option for, you know, all the ways that you would use honey. So here I got a couple frozen products. These boxes are actually empty. I've actually already put the strawberries and the corn in my freezer. I actually pretty regularly buy frozen fruit, particularly frozen berries through Azure. I really like to have frozen fruit on hand because, you know, it's a great option for smoothies, it's a great option for baking, it's a great option for flavoring water kefir. So I've been really happy with their frozen fruit in general. We were out of strawberries, so I'm restocking those. And I'm actually trying this frozen corn for the very first time. This had great reviews. and I like that it is organic sweet corn. The review said that it tasted great like fresh corn, so I'm going to let you know if you see me buying this corn again in a future Azure haul. That definitely means that I really liked it. So I will update you on that. But, you know, frozen corn is a great staple ingredient. It's great to have on hand for cooking last-minute meals, and I just wanted to try some frozen corn. So I got a 10-pound bag of these organic onions. I have purchased these several times before, and I've been really happy with these. So I buy these 10-pound bags regularly. One of these bags will last me a couple months. And if you've seen my previous Azure hauls, you know that these onions tend to be on the large side. I think these are actually, well, these are fairly large. These are actually not the largest onions that I've gotten from them in the past. So I've mentioned before that what I like to do with those onions, often they're too big to use in a single meal, but I'll usually chop up the entire onion and I'll use maybe 2/3, 3/4 of it in the meal, depending on what I'm making. And then I like to put the rest of it in a Ziploc freezer bag, just freeze it. And frozen onion is a great convenience item to have in your freezer. When it's pre-chopped like that, you can just throw it into something and use it just like fresh. If you're making a soup or something like that, having that frozen onion is a great time saver. I personally really like it if I'm making a small lunch just for myself. Then I don't want a lot of onion, and it's not really worth chopping up a whole onion just for myself. So I'll just take a small handful of that frozen onion out of the baggie, and it's great for just making just a personal meal for one person. So finally, I got a gallon of this organic coconut oil. I have gotten coconut oil from Azure before. We're actually running a little bit low on it, so it was time to restock. Now this is great for baking, this is great for cooking, it's great for using for certain types of medicinal products as well. We go through quite a bit of coconut oil in my house, so I really do like to always have it on hand. As you can see, this is definitely a larger container than anything I can find at my local grocery store. So sourcing it like this saves me a lot of money over buying my coconut oil locally. So that's my Azure haul for the month of December. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and just hanging out with me in my kitchen and seeing all the products that I purchased. If you're new to Azure, I am going to leave my referral link in the video description. If you choose to purchase through that link, that is a great way to support my channel at no cost to you. Azure will just give me a small thank you referral bonus. So if you do choose to do that, thank you. I really do appreciate it, and it means a lot, especially with a small channel like mine. So I hope you guys are having a great day. I can't wait to see you soon. I'll see you next time.